Hey friend, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you where I get my art inspiration from. So I get asked this question a lot, Jenna, where do you get your photos for reference? Or how do you get your inspiration? And the answer isn't totally straightforward because there's many different sources. So I wanted to walk you through a few different avenues that I use for inspiration, whether it comes to color palette inspiration, shape inspiration, actual what I'm painting from photos, etc. So first, my biggest source of inspiration, whether it's color palettes or actual subjects that I'm painting, is always going to be nature. Going out for nature walks, bringing my phone along and doing either inspirational videos or taking my own reference photos is huge. Most artists use this as a tool for inspiration and reference. So if I'm painting something that's realistic, that I'm actually referencing an image for, maybe it's a flower or a landscape, then I'm gonna usually go outside and take photos or videos, reference photos or videos of that subject, landscape or floral. I also will scour the Instagram or the Pinterest if I don't have access to a particular type of flower. Maybe it just doesn't grow in my area, or a subject like an animal that I can't like go out and take a photo of a macaw in Southern California. They just don't really come around here. So I will usually scour Pinterest. Pinterest is one of my favorite places to compile color palette inspiration. You should definitely go follow me over there because I have specific boards for specific color palettes. So I have a yellow board, I have a grays board, I have a blue board, and all of the different sources that I use for photographs like travel, architectural, tile. Find a lot of inspiration in cafe tile or vintage tiles, clay tiles in like European cafes or just like old tile. I find that so those textures, those shapes and everything so inspirational for my surface pattern design work. But I love hopping on Pinterest or on Instagram if I can't find a reference photo in my own area where I live. And one of my favorite photographers to follow on Instagram, her name is Fanny Cohen. Her Instagram handle is fancy, but Fance, B-E-E.
I'll put it on the screen.
It'll be here, John will have it. Because her photos, her images, they look like watercolor, but they're photographs of poppies or ranunculus. And so I love referencing her photos for inspiration for my floral composition pieces because I find the way she photographs her subjects so beautiful. So find photographers that you love, save their images on Instagram and reference them. I don't like looking at other artists that have similar work to mine and referencing their work to paint something similar because that would be considered almost copying. So finding photographers that you love that are photographing subjects in a unique way that seems painterly or evokes some sort of inspiration for you, whether it's the colors they use or the backgrounds, the shadows, the depth, the movement, to inspire what you pull from those photographs for your painting. So I love Fanny Cohen, Fancy B is her Instagram. One of my favorite photographers. She has a really small account, at least she does now. So you're welcome. But she's like 9,000 followers on Instagram right now and amazing photographs, love it. And I love saving. I also have on my Instagram, you know how you can save like boards or whatever. I have boards just like I do on my Pinterest, but you'll be able to follow my Pinterest. You can't follow my saved Instagram boards. But I have boards for specific color combinations. So I have a color combination for reds and blues, a board for greens and yellows, so that I can reference actual images from, you know, Fancy Bee or other photographers that I find really inspiring. So I can see different combinations of oranges next to each other or pinks and get really inspired by color palettes for my next pattern or for my next floral piece or whatever it is. So that is kind of like the most used inspiration process that I use for inspiration. But then I find figure drawing and drawing the like actual bodies, human bodies and faces to be one of the best pieces or elements, process, whatever you want to call it, for inspiration. Hands down, I don't know what I'm saying, but it's just the most valuable thing that you can do for your practice in any type of medium is sketching the human form. And the reason for that is there's no hard lines in the human form. It's all soft edges, soft curves, S curves, C curves. And I don't know, I think we were created with the most attention to detail and the most pause. And because I don't know if you're a Christian, but I'm a Christian and we're created in the image of God. So if humans are created in the image of God, I think we should pay attention to that. So I love this book, 9 Heads. It's really huge, but this is my all-time favorite reference book for all things figure drawing, all things portraits, and the human body and how we can pose in different shapes and practice those poses. So if you're new to figure drawing or anything like human related, then this book is awesome. It can be quite expensive on Amazon, so I got a used version. It's huge and it's a really cool looking book. It's a really cool looking book too, so it can sit on your coffee table. So that would be a great reference book to use for inspiration. It's so heavy. For inspiration for all things. It is just human stuff and clothing and fashion illustration, but it's going to inform how you draw and how comfortable you are with muscle memory for anything, and even painting too. So highly recommend. And then for floral references, I use Flowers of the World. If I've never painted a flower before, or I want to learn more about a flower, I don't know what type of illustrations these are, but it's just like a vintage botanical looking book. I mean, look at this interior page. So cool. So it gives you all the scientific names of the flowers, and just like how they're related to other types of species, other types of species. Really cool, interesting book that will open your mind to all the different flowers that you can paint in the world that you maybe didn't even know existed. Another really thick book. It's called Flowers of the World by Frances Perry. We'll link to all these books. And then one of my absolute favorite books in general, not just for art things, but mindset. If you are feeling like you're in a creative rut, or like your work isn't good enough, or you don't know how to develop your own style, that sort of thing, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's an old book. I think it was written in the 80s. But it is so good. It's not woo-woo. It's all just like, it's like a 12-week course if I've been reading it over the past 2 years a few times. But she breaks it off into 12 different segments of coursework. So you have like morning pages. So there's homework in this book, but it's so eye-opening, and it will really get you out of a creative rut if you're feeling stuck, or you feel like your work isn't good enough, or you don't know what to paint, all that kind of stuff. So definitely check out this book. Even if you don't paint, I think everyone should read this book. It is so good. Obviously, there's a whole slew of talented, brilliant artists, not just today, but then obviously the masters. One of my favorite artists to reference for color palettes is Matisse. I think his work is brilliant, especially his more pastel work. Is so beautiful with his landscapes, and then obviously paper mache, collage work. I love Matisse. I love Vincent van Gogh. I love his colors as well. There's so many brilliant masters that we can always be finding new things that we're pulling out from them, and the colors they use, the techniques that they use, the shapes, movement, all of that. So always be looking back at that and seeing how you can be inspired by old work. And then also modern day, some of my favorite artists are Emily Jeffords. I think is brilliant. She's a landscape oil painter. I think her movement and strokes are just brilliant in all of her landscape work. And then I'm not really into watching YouTube videos. I know, shocker, don't tell anyone. I just don't really watch YouTube videos. But that said, there are a ton of amazing YouTubers on here that teach watercolor or teach art in different mediums, like Shada Campbell, Make a Chino, Emma Lefebvre, Christy Partridge, and Louise Demasi. I think I'm saying these names right. So many amazing YouTube artists out there teaching incredible things. And we'll link all those channels below. So if you're feeling stuck or you just need some more wheels turning, more inspiration, make sure you check them out. Check those books I mentioned out and the processes I use for inspiration. I hope that was helpful for you. Let me know in the comments below if you have something that you do that you think is helpful for inspiration. I would love to check it out, and I'm sure other people looking at these comments would love to try it out as well. So drop it in the comments below if you have this unique process or method for sourcing reference photos, whatever. I would love to check it out. So hit me up in the comments below with how you discover inspiration, get inspired for your painting session, whatever. And I'll see you in the next video.